negative 23 degrees in Pensacola, Florida. Your city might be next, and the timeline is closer than you think. Right now, over 110,000 Americans are sitting in the dark without power, in temperatures that are breaking records set decades ago. Some of these folks have been freezing for 7 straight days. But here is what nobody saw coming. This Arctic blast you are dealing with right now is actually about to flip completely upside down. And when I show you the specific dates and cities most affected by this dramatic shift, you are going to understand why the next 2 weeks are going to feel like we reliving in 2 completely different countries. I need something from you in the comments right now. Drop your city name. Tomorrow morning, I am going through those comments and giving personalized forecasts for your specific location. Because what's coming varies wildly depending on where you are. Let me give you the timeline for 5 major cities immediately. Atlanta, you are looking at this current freeze lasting through Friday. Then by Monday, you could be touching 65 degrees. Chicago, your extreme wind chills continue through Sunday, possibly hitting negative 30, but by mid-next week, you are climbing back toward freezing. Seattle, you are entering a wet pattern starting this weekend that could bring flooding concerns by Wednesday. Dallas, you stay cold through Thursday, then a rapid warm-up puts you near 70 by Tuesday. And Boston, you are getting hammered twice once this weekend with dangerous wind chills, then again around February 14th with what could be a significant snowstorm. Here's what makes this weather pattern so unusual. We are not just talking about a gradual warming trend. We're talking about a complete reorganization of the jet stream that's going to split this country into dramatically different weather worlds. The Pacific North American pattern is about to go negative, bringing storms training across from the Pacific Ocean all the way to the Gulf Coast, one after another. That's where your severe weather comes from. That's where your big snow events come from up north. Let me walk you through what's happening right now because you need context for what's coming. Kentucky still has 28,000 people without power, Mississippi 46,000, Louisiana 7,000, Florida 18,000, and that's during their coldest temperatures in decades. North Carolina 4,000, Hawaii nearly 4,000, New York 2,200, South Carolina 2,000. These are people who've been in freezing temperatures for days, some for an entire week. And when I tell you what's coming for your region, I want you to understand that this forecast is specifically timed to help you prepare. The calendar breaks down like this. This weekend, February 6th and 7th, you are getting one more Arctic punch. It's going to be severe for the Great Lakes and Northeast. Then, and this is critical, starting February 10th and 11th, everything changes. That's when this new pattern kicks in. Multiple storm systems start rolling across the country. Some of you get severe thunderstorms. Some of you get major snowfall. It depends entirely on which side of these temperature boundaries you are on, and those boundaries are going to be sharp. I am watching multiple forecast models, and here's where it gets interesting. The GFS model and the European model are showing good agreement on the overall pattern shift, but they disagreeing on the specifics, particularly the timing and intensity of individual storm systems. This morning's European model run actually shifted the warming trend even earlier than previous runs suggested. When models agree on the big picture but disagree on details, that tells me the pattern change is real, but the specifics are still uncertain. Now let me get specific about what this means for temperatures across the country. I'm going to cover more than 70 cities here, and I'm going to vary how I deliver this information because I don't want this to feel like a list. I want you to hear your city, understand your specific situation, and know what is coming. Let us start in the South where this cold has been absolutely punishing. Mobile, Alabama, you're at 26 degrees right now, and tonight you're dropping to 18. That's not normal for you. Your infrastructure isn't built for this. By Friday, you start recovering, climbing to 45. Then by Monday, you are looking at 63 degrees. That's a 45-degree swing in 4 days. Pensacola, where I started this forecast, you hit that negative 23-degree wind chill this morning. Your actual temperature was 24. Tonight, 20, but here's your relief timeline. Saturday, you are at 42. Monday, you are pushing 68. How about you in New Orleans? 29 degrees right now, and you are going to 23 tonight. The warm-up for you starts Sunday with 51 degrees, and by Tuesday, you could touch 72. That's when you need to watch for severe weather potential, which I'll explain in detail in about 8 minutes. Jackson, Mississippi, 27 now, dropping to 19 tonight. You've got those 46,000 neighbors without power, dealing with temperatures your city wasn't designed to handle. Your recovery begins Sunday at 48 degrees and you're at 67 by Monday. Memphis, Tennessee, you are at 25 degrees with a wind chill of 12. Tonight you drop to 17. But watch this progression: Friday 41, Saturday 53, Monday 66. By Wednesday, you might be dealing with severe thunderstorms instead of this Arctic air. Little Rock, Arkansas, similar story. 26 now, 18 tonight, then a steady climb that puts you at 65 by Tuesday. Let me shift to Texas real quick because your situation has some unique elements. Dallas, you're at 31 degrees right now with a wind chill making it feel like 22. Tonight you drop to 24. You stay cold through Thursday with highs in the upper 30s, but Friday you jump to 52 degrees. By Tuesday you are at 70. Houston, you're at 35 now, going to 29 tonight. Your warm-up is even faster: 68 by Monday, 75 by Tuesday. San Antonio, very similar to Houston. Austin, you retracking about 2 degrees warmer than San Antonio through this whole period. El Paso, you were in a different pattern entirely. You've been cold, but you remoderating quicker. 52 today, and you are staying in the 50s through the weekend. Now let's talk Florida, because what you re-experiencing is historic. Tampa, you drop to 35 degrees with a wind chill of 28. That's not just unusual, that's affecting vegetation, pipes, infrastructure that never has to deal with this. Tonight, you're going to 33, but your recovery is rapid: 63 by Friday, 74 by Monday. Miami, you are the warmest spot in Florida right now at 58 degrees, but even you drop to 54 overnight. You are back to 78 by Sunday. Orlando, you are at 43 now, going to 39 tonight, then 67 by Saturday. Jacksonville, 40 now, dropping to 32 tonight, and you've got those 18,000 people without power across Florida, many of them in your area. You are at 65 by Saturday. The Carolinas are interesting because you were right on the edge of a system that could bring mixed precipitation midweek. Charlotte, you are at 32 degrees now, going to 26 tonight. Friday, you are at 43, but Wednesday into Thursday, you might see some sleet mixing in with rain as a weak system passes through. The models have trended this further north, so you might dodge it entirely. Raleigh, very similar situation. You're at 34 now, 28 tonight. Columbia, South Carolina, you're warmer at 36, dropping to 30 tonight, and you're less likely to see any mixed precipitation. Atlanta, I mentioned you earlier, 32 degrees now, 26 tonight. You warm gradually through the weekend, then by Monday you are at 65 degrees. That Wednesday system stays north of you, so you are looking at rain, not any winter weather. Let me move to the mid-Atlantic and show you how different your pattern is. Washington, D.C., you are at 35 degrees now with a wind chill of 27. Tonight you drop to 27. Here's your timeline. Friday, you are at 42, Saturday 45, but Sunday a cold front drops you back to 39. You are not getting the same kind of warm-up the Deep South is getting. You are in that transition zone. Philadelphia, very similar. 34 now, 26 tonight, and that same weekend cold front keeps you cooler. Baltimore, tracking right between D.C. and Philadelphia. New York City, you are at 33 degrees now, wind chill of 23. Tonight you are going to 25. That weekend cold front hits you harder. Sunday you are only reaching 35 degrees. By midweek you are back in the mid-40s, but you are watching that potential February 14th system I mentioned earlier. It's too early for specifics, but there's a signal for a nor'easter setup. Boston, you were in for a rough stretch. 30 degrees now, wind chill of 18. Tonight you drop to 22. Saturday and Sunday are brutal for you, highs only in the mid-20s, with wind chills Saturday morning potentially hitting -15. That's dangerous cold. You need to prepare for that. By midweek, you moderate to the upper 30s, but that same mid-February storm potential is on your radar too. Portland, Maine, even colder than Boston. 26 degrees now, dropping to 18 tonight. Your weekend wind chills could hit -20. That's life-threatening if you're not prepared. Let me correct something I said earlier about the timeline. When I mentioned February 10th and 11th for the pattern change, that S when it starts, but the full transition takes several days to complete. So Don T, expect an immediate flip on the 10th. It S a progression from the 10th through about the 14th where this new pattern really establishes itself. Moving to the Midwest, where you're re-dealing with some of the most extreme conditions right now. Chicago, you re at 23 degrees with a wind chill of 8. Tonight you drop to 16, but your wind chill is going to be -2. Saturday is your worst day, high of only 20 degrees with a wind chill that could hit -30 in the morning. That is extremely dangerous. Sunday you start moderating slightly, reaching 25. By Wednesday you are at 34. By Friday you might touch 40. You are not getting the warmth the South gets, but you're getting relief from these extremes. Milwaukee, tracking a couple degrees colder than Chicago through this whole period. Minneapolis, you are at 18 degrees now with a wind chill of -4. Tonight, you are going to 10 with a wind chill of -12. Your Saturday morning wind chill could hit -35. That's not just dangerous, that stay inside or risk serious harm kind of cold. You stay below freezing through the entire forecast period, but by late next week, you are climbing toward 30 degrees, which will feel relatively mild after what you are going through now. Detroit, you are at 25 degrees, wind chill of 14. Tonight, 20, wind chill of 6. Saturday morning, -15 wind chill. Cleveland, very similar pattern. Columbus, Ohio, you are slightly warmer at 28 degrees now, but you are still getting those dangerous weekend wind chills. Indianapolis, you are at 26 degrees, going to 20 tonight. Your weekend isn't quite as brutal as Chicago's, but Saturday morning you are still looking at -10 wind chills. By Wednesday you are at 40 degrees, and here's where you need to pay attention, that when you could be on the northern edge of severe weather or the southern edge of snow, depending on exactly where this system sets up. St. Louis, you warmer than Indianapolis at 30 degrees now. You warm faster too, 52 by Monday, 60 by Wednesday. That Wednesday system could bring you severe weather. Kansas City, similar to St. Louis, 32 now, 55 by Monday, 63 by Wednesday. You are in that severe weather zone potentially. Now, the Great Lakes region has some specific concerns. Buffalo, you are at 27 degrees, dropping to 21 tonight. Saturday and Sunday, you are looking at lake effect snow potential. Not a major event, but several inches possible. Your wind chills Saturday morning could hit -20. Syracuse, very similar to Buffalo. Rochester, same story. Moving west, let me show you how this pattern affects the Rockies and High Plains. Denver, you're at 42 degrees now, which is relatively mild compared to the eastern half of the country, but you are entering a stormier pattern. By this weekend, you are looking at snow. Not extreme amounts, maybe 3 to 6 inches, but enough to impact travel. Next week, you in the 30s and 40s with several more chances for snow as these Pacific systems roll through. Salt Lake City, you are at 38 degrees. You are getting snow this weekend too, possibly 6 to 10 inches in the valleys, more in the mountains. This is the beginning of what could be a very active pattern for you through mid-February. Albuquerque, you at 45 degrees now. You stay relatively mild, upper 40s to mid-50s, but you are on the southern edge of these storm systems, so you might catch some rain. Phoenix, you are at 68 degrees, and you are actually cooling down as this pattern develops. By this weekend, you are in the upper 50s. Next week, you are in the low 60s with rain chances. That is actually beneficial rain for you after a dry winter so far. Las Vegas, 59 degrees now. You are trending cooler, too, low to mid-50s next week with possible rain. Los Angeles, you're at 65 degrees. By next week, you're in the upper 50s, low 60s with multiple chances for rain. Some of these systems could bring heavy rain, possibly leading to flooding concerns in areas with poor drainage or recent burn scars. San Francisco, 58 degrees now. You're entering what could be an atmospheric river pattern by midweek next week. Heavy rain is possible, and given how saturated your soils already are from earlier storms, flooding is a legitimate concern. Seattle, I mentioned you at the start, 46 degrees now, and you're already seeing rain. This continues through the weekend and intensifies next week. Wednesday through Friday, you could see very heavy rainfall totals. Flooding is a real possibility. Portland, Oregon, same situation as Seattle. Let me jump to some cities in the interior west. Boise, you're at 35 degrees. Snow this weekend, possibly 4 to 8 inches. Next week, you are in the 30s with additional snow chances. Spokane, similar pattern, maybe slightly colder. Down in the southwest, Tucson, you are at 63 degrees, trending cooler next week into the mid-50s with rain chances. Let me cover a few more Texas cities because you have such a large population. Lubbock, you are at 34 degrees now, dropping to 24 tonight. You warm to 58 by Monday. Amarillo, 31 now, 22 tonight, 53 by Monday. Midland, 36 now, 26 tonight, 62 by Tuesday. Corpus Christi, 42 now, 34 tonight, 71 by Monday. Brownsville, 53 now, 45 tonight, 78 by Monday. Quick hits on some other southern cities I haven't covered yet. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 30 degrees now, 24 tonight, 68 by Monday. Shreveport, 28 now, 21 tonight, 62 by Monday. Montgomery, Alabama, 31 now, 24 tonight, 65 by Monday. Birmingham, 29 now, 23 tonight, 60 by Monday. Nashville, 27 now, 21 tonight, 58 by Monday. Knoxville, 28 now, 22 tonight, 54 by Monday. More East Coast cities. Richmond, Virginia, 34 now, 28 tonight, 46 by Friday. Then that weekend cold front drops you back. Norfolk, 37 now, 30 tonight, similar pattern to Richmond. Wilmington, North Carolina, 40 now, 33 tonight. Warmer recovery than cities further north. Let me hit the Ohio Valley more thoroughly. Cincinnati, 28 degrees now, 22 tonight. You warm to 48 by Monday, 56 by Wednesday, and you rewrite in that zone where severe weather is possible Wednesday into Thursday. Louisville, very similar to Cincinnati. Pittsburgh, you are at 29 degrees now, 24 tonight. Your warm-up is slower, only 42 by Monday, 48 by Wednesday. You are less likely to see severe weather, more likely to be on the rain side of any systems. A few more northeast cities. Hartford, Connecticut, 31 degrees now, 24 tonight. Those brutal weekend wind chills affect you too. -10 possible Saturday morning. Providence, Rhode Island, similar to Hartford. Albany, New York, 28 now, 20 tonight. -15 wind chills Saturday morning. Let me cover some cities in the southeast I missed. Savannah, Georgia, 42 degrees now, 34 tonight, 68 by Saturday. Charleston, South Carolina, 44 now, 36 tonight, 66 by Saturday. Macon, Georgia, 33 now, 26 tonight, 66 by Monday. Out west, let me add a few more. Reno, Nevada, 42 degrees now. Snow this weekend, 3 to 6 inches in the valleys. Sacramento, 58 degrees now. Rain developing this weekend and continuing next week. Fresno, 59 degrees now. Similar rain pattern to Sacramento. Pacific Northwest, let me add Bend, Oregon, 33 degrees now. Snow this weekend, possibly 6 to 12 inches. Eugene, Oregon, 48 degrees now. Heavy rain this weekend into next week. Some cities in the northern tier. Fargo, North Dakota, you are at 12 degrees now with a wind chill of -8. Tonight you drop to 4 degrees, wind chill -15. Saturday morning wind chill could hit -40. That's extreme danger territory. You stay well below freezing through the entire forecast period. Sioux Falls, South Dakota, similar to Fargo, but a few degrees warmer. Duluth, Minnesota, even colder than Fargo in some cases. Let me add some Mountain West cities. Billings, Montana, 28 degrees now. You're getting clipper systems bringing light snow periodically over the next week. Cheyenne, Wyoming, 36 degrees now. Snow this weekend, possibly 4 to 8 inches. Great Falls, Montana, 24 degrees now. Snow periodically through next week. Southern cities I haven't fully covered. Tallahassee, Florida, 38 degrees now. 32 tonight, 68 by Saturday. Gainesville, Florida, 40 degrees now, 36 tonight, 70 by Sunday. A couple more Midwest cities. Omaha, Nebraska, 24 degrees now, 18 tonight, -20 wind chills Saturday morning, 48 by Wednesday. Des Moines, Iowa, 22 degrees now, 16 tonight, -25 wind chills Saturday morning, 42 by Wednesday. Madison, Wisconsin, 20 degrees now, 14 tonight, -28 wind chills Saturday morning, 36 by Wednesday. Okay, now that you understand where you specifically stand, let me explain what's creating this dramatic shift. Right now, high pressure over the western U.S. is keeping them mild, while a deep trough over the eastern U.S. is causing your freeze. Next week, that flips. Storms start rolling across from the Pacific, setting up severe weather for the south and snow for the northern tier. This could repeat multiple times through mid-February. That's why I keep emphasizing this is a pattern change, not just a single weather event. The severe weather potential, let me be specific about this. Wednesday, February 12th into Thursday, February 13th, we could see a setup from eastern Texas through Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, maybe into Tennessee and Kentucky. The ingredients would be there: strong wind shear, adequate moisture, instability. Damaging winds would be the primary threat, but tornadoes can be ruled out in a setup like this. This is still 6 to 7 days out, so the specifics will change, but the overall pattern supports this type of event. For those of you in the northern states, that same system could bring significant snowfall to the Great Lakes, upper Midwest, and possibly Northeast. The exact track determines who gets what. The European model has it slightly further north than the GFS, and that 100-mile difference changes everything. After this mid-February active pattern, we might see another Arctic outbreak around February 15th or 16th. It is still too far out to be certain, but it wouldn't be as extreme as now and would mainly affect the northern tier states. Now, I mentioned atmospheric rivers for the West Coast earlier. We're re-seeing signals that heavy rain events could impact California, Oregon, and Washington between February 10th and February 15th. Seattle and Portland could see 4 to 8 inches of rain. Northern California, possibly 6 to 12 inches. That's enough to cause flooding, especially in areas affected by recent wildfires. Highway 50 and Interstate 80 over Donner Pass could see major snow impacts with multiple feet above 7,000 feet. Typically, by mid-February, we are starting to transition towards spring patterns. But this year, mid-winter storm tracks are continuing, possibly even intensifying. The next 2 weeks are going to be very active from a weather perspective. Let me address power outages specifically. The cold should moderate significantly by this weekend, helping restoration efforts. However, upcoming storm systems could create new outages from ice, heavy snow, or damaging winds. If you're in an area that doesn't typically experience winter weather and you see ice in the forecast, take that seriously. For those coming back from outages, be cautious as things warm up. Frozen pipes might start showing leaks as they thaw. Check your faucets and look for water stains. Let me give you some hope because I know many of you are tired of cold weather. If you are in the South, your relief is coming soon. By early next week, you are going to see 60s and 70s returning. You'll be able to go outside comfortably. The damage from this cold snap is already done, but at least the cold itself is ending for you. For those in the north, you're still dealing with cold temperatures and winter weather. But the extreme dangerous cold, particularly this weekend, does moderate. Getting back to the 20s and 30s by late next week might not sound warm, but compared to negative wind chills, it's significantly better. There's one more thing I want to mention before we wrap up. Everything I've told you today is based on current model guidance. Weather forecasting is not an exact science beyond 3 or 4 days. The overall pattern IV described is highly likely to occur, but specific details will change. Tomorrow morning, S-model runs will give us better clarity. If you making decisions based on weather, build in some flexibility. Use this as a planning tool, not as an absolute certainty. When I talk about severe weather potential next Wednesday and Thursday, I am not trying to scare you. I am giving you advance notice to prepare. If you are in the potential impact zone, check your severe weather preparedness. Know where you go if warnings are issued. Make sure you have a way to receive warnings. Have flashlights and batteries ready. For those in snow zones, make sure you restocked up on essentials in case travel becomes difficult. Have your snow removal equipment ready. I want to circle back to comments one more time. When you drop your city in the comments, I am going to give you personalized forecasts tomorrow. Not just generic regional information, but specific information for your location. Temperature trends, precipitation chances, wind concerns. This takes time, but I want you to have the information you need. Please take 10 seconds and drop your city name. Tomorrow morning SE video will have updated model information, specific city forecasts from your comments, and more detailed timing on these systems. I am posting that at 7 a.m. Central Time. I know this has been a lot of information, over 70 cities covered, multiple weather systems discussed, pattern changes explained. If you're feeling overwhelmed, here's the simple version. This week, brutal cold continues with a final push this weekend for the northern states. Next week, dramatic warm-up for the South, active storm pattern begins affecting everyone with either severe weather, heavy snow, heavy rain, or strong winds depending on your location. Mid-February stays active. That's the big picture. Everything else I've told you is detailed to help you prepare more specifically. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking weather seriously. Thank you for preparing instead of just reacting. That is what separates people who handle weather events well from people who struggle. Preparation, awareness, flexibility. You're doing this right by being here and getting information ahead of time. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Central Time, I'll see you again. Same place, updated information, comment responses. Until then, stay safe, stay warm if you are in the cold zones, and remember that this too shall pass. Weather patterns always change. This one is changing in your favor. If you are tired of the cold, just hang in there a few